Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Tarot with Josh. My name is Josh, and we're going to do a little tarot reading today. We're going to change it up a little bit here. I've been using our dragon deck to pick our piles, but I want to switch it up a little bit. We're actually going to use our crystal healing deck here to get our piles going. So real quick, just want to say, if hopefully these readings resonate with you. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if it feels like none of these really resonate with you at all, then you can move on, do whatever else you'd like to do with your day, or sort of go to another reading, or whatever you'd like to do. Okay, just want to throw that disclaimer out there right away. All right. So first of all, for pile number one, card we got today is going to be in alignment with our root chakra here. So you can either pick off of what card these crystals are in alignment with, or what chakra our crystals are in alignment with, or you can pick off of the actual crystals themselves. So crystal we got here is red Tigereye. And once we get into the readings, I'll actually read all this stuff for you. So it also says strength under here, if that also helps you out at all. So root chakra with the red Tigereye for pile number one. For pile number two, we have the sky chakra, and we have white Moonstone, which is feminine mystery. Okay. And then for pile number three, we have sacral chakra, and our crystal is amber, which is fertility. Perfect. So can go ahead, take a moment, and let's see. Hopefully this lines up right for us. Nope. We're gonna swap those around. All right. You can take a moment. We got pile number one, two, and then three from left to right here. So settle in, see which crystal aligns with you the most, whichever one you're drawn to the most here, and then we'll go ahead and hop on into our readings. All right, hello, pile number one. If you chose this red Tigereye, then this is going to be your reading. So real quick, let's go ahead and just get started. I'll read this stuff in a little bit here. I want to pull some cards here for you right away. So we'll see what comes through, what messages we need to hear today. I'm going to kind of leave this one open today, just see what we get. Going to kind of get an overall energy with our dragon cards here for you. And then we'll get a little deeper with our tarot deck as well. This one feels like it wants to come out. Okay. See any others that want to pop out here for pile number one? Anything else wanted to pop out for pile number one here? All right. Cool. So we have the Magus and the Destiny card that came out here for you. So immediately, I mean, this is some pretty cool energy today. So you're probably somebody who very much has been in this spiritual journey for a little bit at least, or you're starting to figure out how you're either starting to figure out how to work with the elements and do all this sort of spiritual magic stuff, or have been in this for a minute. And then we also got our destiny card here. Maybe this is something that you do for your passion. Maybe you're just starting to learn this. Maybe this is going to lead you to your passion here. And then with our red Tigereye here, with the strength here, I really am feeling like that you're somebody who's very strong in this aspect of yourself, with the spiritual aspect within your self. Okay, you've really mastered this idea of like taking the things from spirit and bringing them down into the physical reality here, and really working with all the elements, doing all this stuff to bring that into fruition. I mean, you've mastered kind of your cups energy, your pentacles energy right there. Oh man, it's confusing using this. We got our swords energy right there too, and then our wands as well. Okay, very cool stuff. Um, and yeah, Destiny here, this is the Wheel of Fortune card. Normally, this is the Magician card, normally in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So if you know these, since you probably do, if you're this awesome magician here, then you probably do know these. So that might help you determine what's going on here. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, we probably have a little bit more. Maybe you're starting to find some success with this stuff, or you will be starting to find some success soon. Real quick, I do want to read our Tiger's Eye, get into this a little bit deeper. So physical qualities for Tiger's Eye, red Tiger's Eye specifically, is it brings physical strength, helps heal from physical trauma, treats male reproductive system, pelvic muscles, perineum, veins, and arteries affecting the soleus muscle and other lower limb muscles, supports physical sexuality. The emotional qualities here are increases motivation and determination, improves passion, desire, and potency, supports emotional stability, facilitates assertiveness and endurance, provides wisdom of the gut with brain to improve overall clarity here. And then affirmation we can use is I am strong in the body and mind. So yeah, I feel like there seems to be like this big emphasis on our root chakra here. Either I'm getting the feeling that we've done lots of good work, especially like in this ethereal, maybe upper chakra space here. But maybe there's a little bit more of a focus of bringing things down to our root chakra and working a little bit more on our security within this sort of space here, which I can resonate with myself personally. So you're not alone. Perfect. I want to get a little bit more clarity here with our tarot deck as well. See what we got coming through. So Spirit, if we could get some clarity on the Magician and the Destiny card here for pile number 1. Or get any sort of messages that pile number 1 needs to hear at this moment. That one feels like it wants to come out. And that one as well. Very interesting. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse, King of Cups in the upright, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Chariot in the upright here. Maybe we're having a little bit of an issue, like sort of believing in ourselves in this space, in this spiritual space here. Maybe we feel like it is kind of our passion, our destiny to work in this space here, but we're finding it a little hard to accept that within ourselves. Maybe there's some parts of ourselves that kind of are rejecting that, or kind of feeling like it's not exactly for us, or maybe we're just feeling a little exhausted right now. Okay, flew out. We got the four of Wands that came out, so I'm feeling like maybe if we are feeling a little exhausted right now, or second guessing ourselves, or maybe feeling like we are not really in this Hierophant energy here. Maybe we don't feel exactly deserving to be in this position. But I think that there's a big, if that's the case for you, I think that this readings here is a reminder that you are absolutely worthy to be in this position. You've done a lot of work to get here, and Spirit wants to come through, let you know that you fought for this position. You fought to be here, right? You've fought through mastering all of these things and learning all this stuff with all these elements, and you've done it in a way that's you've tried to do your best with it, right? You're really been working hard here to try and stay in alignment with your truths, with highest and greatest good for all, all that fun stuff. So I think that there's big reminder here to remember, like, you are this master. You have done this work, and that, you know, you're starting to sit in this, like, you're kind of gathering all of your things, because we have the Nine of Cups here, and we have the Nine of Wands as well. So this really feels like, we've really been going through the process of, like, mastering all these different aspects to ourselves, and that process has afforded us the space that we're in. I mean, otherwise, what was the point of doing all this stuff if this is something that truly brings you joy? And we've worked so hard to do this. Why do we still try to keep hiding and deceiving ourselves? Ultimately, I think this is kind of coming out to say, like, our emotions here that are maybe tied to this. Maybe we've had a bit of trauma surrounding this sort of space as well. That's really telling us, like, or trying to that's made us feel betrayed in the past. But we've even worked through that. We've even done the work on that stuff, and so we really need to step over this mental hurdle that makes us, this betrayal that we felt in the past or whatever. We really got to take ourselves out of that space and stop believing that we're not this hierophant, and try and remember that we are this hierophant. We are this person who's, we've gained a lot of um, wisdom, and we've gained a lot of really cool stuff through this process, and you're somebody who wants to share that with the rest of the world. So why hold yourself back on that? um yeah, and I think, like, once we step once we step out of that mental space within us, we can and remind ourselves that we are strong in body and mind. We will really feel like things start to pick up for us in a quick way here, and things will start to move a lot quicker here. Um, yeah, like, I mean, we even have the King of Cups here, which is like, we've mastered our emotions when it comes to this stuff. Um, We've been mastering our thoughts, especially with the Ten of Swords in reverse here. I feel like we've really mastered any feelings of betrayal here. We're really stepping into the higher version of ourselves, this highest version of ourselves that we've wanted to be in for so long, right? And if we've wanted to be in this position for so long, why are we just now? I don't know. Like, why are we just now? Why are we questioning ourselves now so close to the finish line? I guess it's not really a finish line. It's not like once we start doing this stuff, everything is going to be over, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, we're still living life, but this is the way that we want to live life. And it's kind of the finish line in the way of, like, going through all of this stuff. Like, of course, we're going to keep learning as we go through life and everything, but, like, that big area of learning, of doing the work, of working through all these traumas, of undoing our old versions of ourselves, of um, rebuilding that up and relearning what is true for us, what's not true for us, all that stuff, doing all that work. The real big chunk of that feels like it's over for us now. We've really done the work here. We've really gathered our wands, and we're ready to face whatever comes next. We even we've even mastered our emotions when it comes to this stuff. Like, not only have we mastered our like, the spiritual concepts here, but we've also mastered our emotions here as well. Especially our emotions. Maybe even if we haven't mastered these spiritual concepts, we're at the very least very ready to push out and learn these and pick these up and then integrate them into ourselves to flip this hierophant over here. Cool. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else pile number 1 needs to hear? We got the Emperor coming out. Yeah, I feel like this is the energy that we're feeling, and what Spirit's really calling us to think of ourselves as and believe ourselves to be is this Emperor, right? And step in and embody that energy, and shamelessly too. I mean, it can be very hard, especially if we're, been going through this process for a while. It can be very hard to think of ourselves as that emperor and really feel and embody that energy. But I feel like doing that is going to help put everything into balance here, and bring in some of these pentacles that the universe so desperately wants to give us. And really, like, I feel like there's been a lot of imbalance here in the past, especially surrounding all of this sort of stuff for you, and stepping up into this energy and really claiming it for ourselves and embodying it for ourselves is not only going to balance it out, but it's also going to bring in all of those pentacles for us and really, really, really bring in that abundance that we so much deserve. Yeah, very cool. We also got the Six of Wands in reverse here coming out, which really feels like, I mean, maybe we don't really feel like we've been victorious here, but I think this is coming out in the reverse because this is what we feel now. I think we kind of really have to claim this victory for ourselves in order to truly step into this energy and really take a look within ourselves, look at our emotions a little bit here. Like, what is it that's stopping us from claiming this within ourselves? Like, we are, oh look, and then at the bottom of the deck we got the sun here. But like really just claim this within ourselves and trust ourselves here. um I mean, it's been a lot. Like, of course, like, take care of yourself and rest and recover and do whatever you need to do there. But I feel like we've really done a lot here, and spirit's coming through to tell us, like, congratulations, you've done it. Yes, the rest of the, yes, there's going to still be some work, and maybe we don't really feel like we're ready to sit and strategize and plan how to do all this stuff out, but that's not what we are here to do. We're here to live in the present and take it one step at a time. We're not necessarily meant to sit strategize everything, and if we do that, that's where we can kind of block ourselves. Maybe this is where this block is kind of coming from. We have the well coming through here. This is a unique card to this deck, so I don't really remember what it means. So give me a moment. Yeah, I think like there's this opportunity sitting right in front of you right now where maybe this is something that you've been asking for a long time, and maybe you've not really been seeing it very clearly, but maybe you're starting to see that here, and this is coming through to remind us that to sit and nurture this, even if it doesn't look like it's exactly, it's not like immediately everything's working, blah blah blah. That's not that's not really how it works. Things aren't going to just immediately start moving that fast. Yes, things are going to pick up and start moving quickly here. However, we still need to sit and nurture this opportunity that's sitting in front of us here, and we need to pour into it. And the universe is kind of asking us to do this, and like kind of watching us and sitting like, well, here you go. Here's all the stuff. Here's everything that you need to be able to do this. Are you actually going to pour into this and do this now? Like, kind of calling us on our bullshit a little bit, and like trying to like just saying like, hey, here you go. Here's everything that you've desired. Are you really going to follow those desires and pour into this thing and nurture it and bring this opportunity into existence? And claim all this beautiful, wondrous abundance that's wanting to come in for you. Anything else, Spirit? Got the Two of Cups in reverse here. Maybe we've, Maybe there's a bit of a love situation. Maybe we felt like we need some sort of love situation or something to come in, and um, or maybe we're feeling like we're kind of missing that a little bit here. But I feel like this process here, like the fact that the Ten of Cups came through with the Magician in reverse here, as well as with the Two of Cups here, as or Two of Cups in reverse, as I don't know. This really feels like maybe this abundance has kind of been locked within how we feel about um, like maybe we felt like we need to be in a good relationship before we can really pour into this, or maybe we feel like we need to be a little bit more of a master of our magician self or whatever. But I mean, initially you came through as this magician in the upright, and now we're like showing up as this magician in the reverse, like sandwiched between like I mean this Ten of Cups is literally like there's a family here, like this is mother and father like taking care of this baby here, and like this really feels like maybe that's something that we felt like we've been missing a lot in our life. And maybe that's something that we felt like we needed to have before we get this, or that's been a bit of a motivation for doing this, and like now that we're still not really seeing that in our life, it's almost like why would I even like pour into this other thing? But ultimately, like pouring into this other thing is going to help bring in all of this abundance that wants to come into your life, and will you know I you can't really control somebody else coming into your life or not really, and or the timing of that or anything like that. So what's the point of spending time worrying about that or thinking about that when you could be pouring that energy into this wonderful opportunity that's sitting right in front of your face, literally underneath your nose, right? Yeah. And maybe there's a bit of a call here to also like open our minds up a little bit on like what this could be. I mean, um, like I feel like there's a big call here to like maybe we've been attached to like a certain way that we think that this is supposed to come in the past, and like thinking like it's very easy to get caught up on like this is the way that it has to come in, but that's not the way the universe works, and the universe wants to kind of surprise you too. So I think opening ourselves up and just kind of taking it as it comes and taking those inspired actions as they come up, then that'll really help us dive into this and really start to like allow us to nurture this opportunity that's right in front of us, um, in the way that we want to. And I think that like if we can take a step back and really look at that, we'll really be able to start to nurture and pour into this and claim this abundance for ourselves and claim or stand in this emperor energy as we do this, and we'll find that Four of Wands, that union energy, and I think all this beautiful stuff that wants to come in, the Ten of Pentacle or the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, and um, all this wondrous energy here that wants to come in for us. I mean, even the Ten of Swords, I feel like, yeah, like in reverse, like everything is lined up perfectly for you, and this is like this reading is here to remind you that this is for you. This thing that you're thinking about, whatever it is you're thinking about right now, that you're like, oh man, is it really that? Is it really this? Yes, and sometimes it takes us literally just accepting that, being like, okay, whatever, even if it feels like something that like, oh, this couldn't work out for me, or oh, it's so easy to tell ourselves that like, oh, this thing can't work out for me. Oh, it worked out for them over there and they're doing this, but that doesn't mean it will work out for me. No, it's actually the exact opposite. That should show you that it can work out for you. If it works out for them, then why couldn't it work out for you, I think there's a bit of a call here to just take a risk on it and see what happens, really pour ourselves into this at this time. um, yeah, so Let's take a moment here. Let's see, is there anything else here? Maybe picking up some red tiger's eye would be really useful for you if you're still struggling with this. That might help you out with this a little bit. It does kind of call in that strength. But even sitting in meditation, or if you're someone who uses affirmations, you can say, I am strong in body and mind. That might help give you a little bit more energy towards doing this. But I think the big thing here is just get out of your own way. Sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and stop overthinking and about something and just start acting. um, I think there's a big call here to just start acting on the things that you want in life. Okay. And the universe will meet you there. That's co-creation, right? And I think you understand that, and I think you know that. I think you just need a little bit of a shove to go ahead and do it, and hopefully this is that for you. Hopefully, it is my intention to hopefully, just give you a nice gentle little push in that direction, and help you get over that little hump, that speed bump that's there. And I mean, it might feel like a big mountain that you have to climb, but ultimately I don't think it is here, especially with the way everything came out here in the reading. I think that this is really just a little bump that's maybe a molehill that you've turned into a mountain in your head. Yeah. So once you start kind of climbing that mountain, you'll see that it's really just a molehill, and you can kind of just go and just try not to get discouraged as we do, especially with all the little things that can come up. Like if it's something that, like, online, where you're putting stuff out there, try not to get caught up in any of the numbers or anything, or what people are saying, or what people might say, or whatever possible things might come up. Just try to quiet that noise down, and just plow ahead and trust yourself, and keep reminding yourself that you believe in yourself. Really really pour that energy into yourself and what you want to do here. So yeah, that is going to be our reading for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed and you got something out of this, and you can leave a like down below. That's the simplest and easiest way that you can show your support. And if you want to give some words of encouragement to anybody else, you can leave that down in the comments. Or if you want to just share what resonated, what didn't resonate, you can also drop that down below. And if you want to join me on this journey of tarot, me doing literally this same thing that we've kind of been talking about here, then you can subscribe and turn that notification bell on so you can be notified of any future uploads. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you. Okay, love you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 2. If you chose this white moonstone crystal, then this is going to be for you. So immediately here, I just want to say, like, each of these crystals are in alignment with one of our chakras, and we got the sky chakra here. Now, not everyone may not know what the sky chakra is. There's kind of an extended chakra system that, rather than just the basics, the initial 7 basic chakras. I'm not super familiar with them, but I do know that there's the sky chakra, and then there's also the earth chakra. The sky chakra kind of connects us to the universe and to that kind of cosmic wisdom, all that stuff. And then the earth chakra kind of connects us to earth, Mother Gaia, that kind of stuff, and the wisdom from there. So, and the energy and wisdom stuff from there. So this, maybe you kind of are feeling maybe a little disconnected from cosmic wisdom, or feeling like you're just a little disconnected in general. So maybe picking up some white moonstone might help you out here. Feel a little bit more connected or aligned with the greater universe as a whole, or I don't know. If that feels like that kind of resonates, then maybe this is going to be for you. Okay. So this also says feminine mystery here, so maybe if you want to get in touch with your feminine side a little bit more, then go ahead and pick this up to kind of get in touch with that a little bit more. I want to just talk about our physical qualities, or the qualities of this stone here for you. So if you're kind of having any issues with, or feeling like you're struggling with anything that's said here, then that might be even more of a call for you to get this crystal. Okay, so We got physical qualities. It enhances feminine energy in the subtle and physical bodies, supports hormonal balance, pregnancy discomfort, and other feminine health issues, calms infections, fever, and wounds, supports bones, tendons, and muscle health. Now, the emotional qualities for this are it connects with the goddess spirit, feminine energy, and mass mystery of the universe. Deeply calming and expansive, brings insight and far-seeing abilities, and and it's blank. I think that's going to be opens the third eye, probably. I don't know why it's blank there. That's kind of interesting. I guess a little bit of a misprint or something. But underneath here, it does give us a little affirmation we can use as well, even if you don't have the means to or don't want to pick up the stone. You can at least use this affirmation. It says, "I am one with the divine goddess." So that can hopefully help us connect with that inner divine feminine within us all. Whether you're male or female, here we all have masculine and feminine energies. So does not matter. And it's always important to connect with both sides of ourselves, okay? So let's go ahead here and get ourselves some dragon cards here. Maybe give us a little bit more of an overall energy, and then we'll get some clarification with our tarot deck, okay? So spirit, divine beings that are in alignment with highest and greatest good of all, and unconditional love and light. If we could just get some messages for pile number 2 here, see what pile number 2 needs to hear at this time. That would be fantastic. If there's anything that wants to come out here, let's see. Okay. So we got the solar dragon. And then we also have love in reverse. Anything else? Spirit. And power in reverse. Okay. Interesting. Can we get some clarification then? Can we clarify the solar dragon? Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, anything else to clarify the solar dragon for us? Got Page of Wands here. So lots of Wands energy here for you. Okay. One moment. Editing, Josh, we can cut that out. Hopefully. Unless I forget. If I forgot to cut that out, then hi. Okay. So let's see here. Can we get some clarification on this love in reverse card as well here? Just some clarification on this energy. General, whatever needs to come through here. Got the Five of Wands in reverse. Got the Four of Swords in reverse. Ooh, lots of things want to come out. I got the Queen of Pentacles there. And wow, lots of reversals. Interesting. Okay, now we got anything for clarification for the power card? Okay. Okay. Lots of interesting energy here. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see here. So let me just lay these guys out and get a little bit. There's a lot going on here, so bear with me for a moment. Okay, well. So let's see. Immediately, kind of what I'm getting here, just with the major cards that we got the Solar Dragon here. We got the Love in Reverse card. And then we have Power in Reverse as well. And this is kind of feeling like maybe you're somebody who's kind of a romantic. You really do love. You love to get in that, but maybe you've had not great experiences in the past with that. Maybe you've been in scenarios that's made you feel disempowered in love, and which can be very painful, especially like I feel like ultimately this love is something that like would make you very happy, like if it's in an ideal state, of course, but you've had some pretty rough experiences in love that have disempowered you and made you feel kind of weak, so it's really kind of hard to feel good about love anymore. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. um, and to clarify this stuff, we got the Six of Wands in reverse, which is, in the upright, Six of Wands talks about victory and stuff. So maybe we felt pretty defeated before in love. And we've kind of felt like we've been in this kind of lack mindset when it comes to love. Maybe we feel like we're undeserving of love, or maybe we feel like there's just not enough love out in the world in general, even if it's not like romantic love. Maybe we're feeling like there's just like maybe we're feeling a bit apathetic right now in general with the world as well here. And let's see. I want to look at the Page of Wands here, see how the Page of Wands fits in here for us. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like this is part of some energy that might kind of help you get through this. Or maybe we try to deal with this feeling of apathy and this feeling of a lack of love, or like love has not really been very good for us by trying to go out and travel, be creative, explore, try and force ourselves to be enthusiastic about certain things, try and like focus on those good things, but maybe there's a bit of us kind of ignoring those negative feelings and emotions, maybe even trying like kind of avoiding things a little bit here. That's maybe we're kind of using creativity and travel to try and avoid those negative feelings of love and all that hurt and pain that we've experienced in love in general here. And then to clarify our love, we have the Star in reverse, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Five of Wands in reverse, and the Four of Swords in reverse as well here. Now, the Five of Wands in reverse is, it's not a terrible card to get, because Five of Wands usually is talking about some sort of fight or something, like if it's in the upright, but in the reverse here, it feels like there's, some avoidance. This is like reconfirming that avoidance here, especially if it comes into love. Maybe there's a bit of self-love that we're avoiding to do here. And that Four of Swords as well kind of tells us, isn't it? Yeah, okay, maybe we've kind of built a little bit of resentment towards those who have made us feel this way in love in the past. Maybe um, I hope that you're not in this sort of situation now, and if you are, then I'm sending you so much love and light, and hope this reading can help you find the strength to get yourself up out of that situation, because you don't deserve to be in that situation. Hell no. Um, but I feel like these situations in the past have made us feel resentful, maybe exhausted as well. Maybe we've dealt with so many of these experiences that we just don't feel like there really is a love out there for us. And that thought or that feeling there can make us feel very resentful and stagnate a little bit here and exhausted from all of this. Um, and kind of like make us feel like gotta cover the titties, make us feel like like we aren't this star that we really are, that spirit that the universe wants us to see ourselves as. And I feel like if we have felt this way in the past in love, if we've been in these scenarios where we've been giving so much of ourselves to other people in this way and giving them, what ends up happening here is we end up subconsciously giving them the power to do these things to us, right? Because if they didn't have that sort of power, then it wouldn't affect us in this way. So I think that there's kind of a call here to look at ourselves, look at our subconscious behaviors a little bit here, take a step back and really take an honest look at ourselves and see like where we've given our power away to these people in the past, where we've shown, or where we've our behavior maybe has shown these people that it's okay to treat us in that way, maybe where we've put too much of ourselves into somebody else, or given too much of ourselves in the past um, to sort of to allow them to treat us like a doormat and allow them to treat us with this sort of disrespect that's disempowered us and all that not so fun stuff. I want to look at the Queen of Wands or Queen of Pentacles in reverse here as well. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of calling to our imbalance in these scenarios. Maybe we've kind of been a bit of a martyr to ourselves. Maybe we feel like if we sacrifice ourselves enough, then that'll make these people love us more, right? Or give us the love that we actually desire. And ultimately, that's not really how it works. That's really just showing them that they can continue to act in these ways, and it's basically okay because you'll do all the work for them. You'll do all the emotional work for them in order to keep this sort of relationship going, right? And then covering all this, we have the Knight of Wands here. I feel like this might be a little bit more of an energy of the past. Maybe this is like energy that we have dealt with a lot in the past when it comes to love, but now we're feeling pretty determined and passionate to maybe get rid of this. Maybe this is something that we've dealt with more so in the past, and we've kind of worked through these feelings a little bit more than I was initially thinking. And now we're feeling a little bit more determined because that we do have the Knight of Wands sitting here covering all this sort of this crappy energy here. Like really just this crappy energy here of all of this lack of love. Now, getting into this power in reverse here, what I see coming through is, I mean, there's just a lot of pretty rough energy. We got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We got the Eight of Cups in reverse. We got Judgment in reverse. We got the Hanged Man in reverse. We got the Eight of Swords here, and let's see. So I'm feeling like, hold on, give me a moment to sit with this stuff and kind of still familiarizing myself with all these cards. So the reverse meanings and upright meanings of everything get kind of muddled in my head. So bear with me for a moment here. And I appreciate your patience with me. I hope you're at least entertained in the meantime. Okay. Hopelessness, confusion. Yeah, maybe we've felt a little. Maybe this sort of treatment in the past has made us feel very, very hopeless here. Maybe this is kind of played off of our hopeless feelings anyway. Maybe it's not necessarily these scenarios that have happened to us in love in the past that have made us feel this way, but maybe there's something a little bit deeper that we need to take a look at that makes us feel this resentment, this where was it? This 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 rejection, this confusion, this hopelessness. Maybe it's kind of been played off of from more people than just one person in the past as well. Here, and the Eight of Swords here talks about isolation, imprisonment, disappointment, trapped. Maybe all this sort of energy has made us feel this way. Maybe this is kind of just how this treatment has made us feel. Maybe these are just kind of the feelings that we're like we've kind of dealt with how the relationship specifically has made us feel, but maybe these relationships and this stuff has kind of exacerbated other underlying things that have been within us, other underlying beliefs that we've held about ourselves that have held us in this sort of energy of feeling trapped, feeling imprisoned in this sort of state of like stagnation, confusion, not really seeing anything happen for us, feeling like maybe we're a little we're greedy for asking for too much. Maybe we've felt like we've been asking for too much, and that's simply being exacerbated by whatever this scenario or multiple scenarios were in the past that made you feel that way with love. And then we also have the Judgment here. Oh, look at that. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's the Judgment in reverse here is talking about self-doubt, maybe where we've been rejected, makes us feel a little blocked, more stagnation energy here. Um, I feel like that self-doubt's a big thing coming through here with the Judgment in reverse is like maybe where we are judging ourselves a little too harshly, that the inner critic can be a bitch and a half to work with, or deal with. So much work with, kind of work with, because I think that's kind of the point of having that inner critic, right? Is to allow ourselves to work with ourselves in a way and like have that constructive criticism going on, but when there's just no when the critic's just kind of going and going and going and we listen to it all the time, like that's an unhealthy and toxic relationship with that inner critic, and maybe we need to do some work around our relationship with our inner critic here. Maybe that would help you out a lot. um, we also have the Hanged Man in reverse, which is talking about indecision, delusion, delay, maybe a missed opportunity here. Maybe we feel like we've missed some sort of opportunity here. And if that's the case, I mean, anything that's meant for you is not going to miss you. Maybe it'll just be brought around again if you really feel like you missed out on something, or maybe it wasn't really meant for you in that way, or maybe at that time and there needed to be a little bit more time here for some things to work out. Whatever it is, there's so many possible things that we just won't know about, right? With that, but I feel like that indecision energy can lead us to feeling like we've missed out on some sort of opportunity. And if that's what we're feeling, then, oh man, I'm sending you so much love because that is tough energy to deal with. I've had a hard time with that. Indecision would literally be the death of us. So I feel like even if it's even if something were to turn out to be the wrong decision, ultimately you'd at least move energy forward and be able to learn something from that, right? You'd be able to learn, like, oh, that's what the wrong decision looks like. That's what something that's not meant for me looks like. That's what this various thing looks like, and you, through even making a wrong decision, we get to learn. But if we're just sitting there stuck in this indecision and not making a decision either way, then ultimately that's where we start to stagnate and trap ourselves in this, like, in this bubble of, like, oh, I can't do anything, oh, and like start to feel really like disempowered and kind of hopeless, and like in this, like, stuck energy, really. And then we also have the Three of Pentacles here. And I feel like this is maybe something that has been really helpful for you, is, your friendships, your relationships with your friends. I feel like that's been something that's, like, been a saving grace for you throughout this, sort of energy here. And I feel like leaning in a little bit more and maybe trusting those people, that you do feel like you can, rely on in that way, would help you out a lot here. There's, like, because this is talking about success, and I feel like that success for you coming through with this energy is in that, in those relationships with the other people, with, your your relationships with these close confidants. When you're actually collaborating with somebody, with multiple people here, that can help build your confidence, and, like, especially if you open up to them. Maybe you haven't been so open with these people who are in your life, who do love you and want to see you, um, thrive, really, who want to see you kind of kick this energy and sit and enjoy the sunshine here, and be this wonderful star that you are. And, these people, there's a lot of feels like there's a lot of people in your life who do want to see you thrive and win here, um, because I mean, all of this energy is like energy of, like, insecurity and, like, self-doubt, and, like, it feel like none of this stuff is coming from outside. I feel like there's a lot of this that's something that we're dealing with inside, and it's dealing with that inner self that's telling us these things, the inner self critic, that we're judging ourselves super harshly, and, like, feeling like we're not, worthy to have wonderful things in our life because of this, that, and the other. Or maybe there's some words from other people that we've internalized a little bit more than we should have, that's, telling us that, like, oh, we're this, that, and the other, and we've, and those words sting, and sometimes those words stick around a lot more than we'd like them to, whether or not, like, you want to believe it or you feel like you believe it or not. Sometimes that can still stick in our subconscious a little bit, and I feel like, um, working with ourselves and being really honest about where we're at, can, really, really help us out a lot. And especially if we're honest with those around us too, who want to be there to support us. Maybe they won't be able to, like, say the magical thing that'll make us feel better or anything like that. Ultimately, that's going to come from within. But at least you'll be able to see where there are people in your life who truly care about you. Yeah. Nice. And then I feel like a lot of this too is maybe, like, we've, through all of this, like, this has made our feminine side feel really, disempowered here, and really, really disconnected us from our femininity here. So I think there's a big call to work with ourselves and try and reconnect with that feminine side, and, like, especially that divine feminine that's, like, gonna take no shit, and, like, really just, like, love yourself, unapologetically, and just, like not care what other people think, and, like, really, really take the dial that's just been stuck up on all these things going on in our mind, and actually sit and turn that down. That's I feel like the more connection with our feminine side there is going to help us do that. Um, yeah, absolutely. Well, awesome. I think that's all I have for you today. Other thing I want to say is that I just want to say, like, you're loved, even if you don't feel like you're loved. Um, and maybe even if you feel like you're not worthy of love or whatever, you are loved, and the universe just really wants to show you that. And ultimately, you just gotta be able to. You gotta be willing to silence that inner critic and allow yourself to open up to that love that wants to pour into you, and also pour into yourself too. Like that's part of it here. You can really only receive the level of love that you give to yourself, yeah, and same with giving love too. Like you could only meet somebody as deeply as you've met yourself here. So yeah, I'm sending you so much love, and I hope that this reading has helped you out a little bit. If it has, then you can go ahead and show your appreciation by leaving a like down below. If you want to drop a comment, share some words of encouragement to anybody else who's on this journey, then you can go ahead and do that. Or if you just want to share like what resonated, what didn't resonate, then that'd be awesome for me to hear, because that helps make sure that this is actually helping somebody out there. But I'm trusting that it will. And yeah, yeah. I love you so much, and if you want to join me for this journey of doing tarot on the internet and stuff, you can go ahead and subscribe, turn the notification bell on to be notified of any future uploads. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Okay, all right, love you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3. If you chose this amber crystal card here, then this is going to be your reading. Hello and welcome. So right away, oh, my screens went off. Oh, maybe that was a message. Ooh, I don't know. um, weird. Yeah, my screen. That's not happened to me at all while I've been recording at all, and I've done longer recordings than this, so I don't know. That was really weird. But anyway, hope you're having a good time. So we're gonna go ahead and dive on into our reading here now. We'll just take a look at our crystal card here right away. See if there's anything here to kind of get us into the energy going on. So this is the amber card, and it's helps out with fertility. So maybe if that's something that you're struggling with, maybe this is a crystal that you'd want to pick up. There's also some physical qualities and emotional qualities here too. So even if that's not specifically something that you're struggling with or anything, maybe there's something else in here that might make you want to pick some amber up. We'll see. So we got physical qualities. It treats health issues related to female organs, including the reproductive system, ovaries, and uterus. Helps with fertility and childbirth. Draws disease out from the digestive organs. Supports endocrine system. Absorbs pain. Increases libido. Provides renewal and restoration. And then the emotional qualities are it strengthens energy, ability related to mothering and nurturing, releases negative energy, negative self-judgment and fear, brings positivity and a sense of well-being, quiets the voice of the inner critic, increases joyful sensual expression. Okay, real quick. I do want to say, if the inner critic thing is a big thing that you're dealing with and you're still struggling with, maybe you want to go and check out pile number 2, because we were talking about that quite a bit in there. So I'll probably try not to talk about that quite so much here. But if that is something that you do want to hear, then pop on over to pile number 2, and then you can get some insight on that, hopefully. So yeah, then yeah, increases joyful sensual expression. And then there's an affirmation here at the bottom that says, "The sacred feminine renews me." So you can kind of, even if you don't end up wanting to pick this up, or just don't end up picking this up, you can use that affirmation underneath there to help you work with this energy here as well. A big thing that I was drawn to as I was reading this was the mothering and nurturing stuff. So maybe there's a bit of a mother wound here that we're having trouble dealing with. And if that's the case, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll actually hop into the tarot here and get some more insight and see what we're dealing with. So first of all, we're just going to pull some cards from our dragon deck here. These are just cards that are in alignment with the major arcana of a normal tarot deck, but it's just the major arcana cards here, and they give a little bit of a slightly different insight than some of the major arcanas will anyway normally. So just get a couple of these, see what major energy we're dealing with here. So spirit guides, beings of unconditional love and light, if you could come through and just give us whatever messages pile number 3 here needs to hear. Be incredible. Feeling like you. Very interesting energy starting off here. Feels like you. And let's see, do we want to get any more here? That one wanted to come out too. Okay. Very interesting. And they're all in reverse. Okay. So this does feel like it's a kind of a mother wound that we're dealing with here, because we have the lunar dragon in reverse, which, like, it's the moon card, so it's all about our emotions and stuff and our emotional body. That can often be kind of a mother wound type of thing, like if we feel like we weren't nurtured very well as a kid or as a young one. It can kind of develop that mother wound that way. There's also balance in reverse here, so there's been some sort of imbalance here with that sort of energy here. Maybe an imbalanced relationship with our mother here. And then there's also Gaia in reverse, and this is the big thing that makes me feel like it is some sort of mother wound energy, because there's like the mother Gaia, right? That's the whole idea with Gaia here. And if that's in reverse, then sounds like we don't have a great relationship with our moms here, which is unfortunate. But let's get some clarification with the tarot and dive deeper into this energy here. So, Spirit, can we clarify the lunar dragon here? Okay. Anything else? Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. Okay, and then if we could clarify the balance card here as well. Dive on into that. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Ooh. Oh, okay. Gonna hear lots of oohs and ahs at this moment. Okay, can we clarify this Gaia in reverse as well here? Spirit. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna take all these. Just kind of lay them out here and see what we got. Okay. So, whew. There is a lot to unpack here. So if that sounds like that resonates, then maybe this is for you. I hope that didn't sound rude. I really didn't mean it in a mean way. I just like making light and making fun of making jokes. Jokes. Laughter is the best medicine, right? Anyway. So let's start off with our lunar dragon here in reverse. So this is to do with our emotions here. There. So there's kind of this energy of like, I don't know. This is kind of like a back and forth energy. I need to sit with these cards a little bit more to get some more clarity here. Okay. So immediately, so we have the Three of Swords in reverse here, and that talks about forgiveness, recovery, conflict, overwhelmed. Maybe this is something that we want, especially if there is a mother wound here. Maybe we want to have that forgiveness, that recovery in that relationship there, and I want to say, if your mother is somebody who's in your life, then I think that of course, there's always going to be an opportunity for that to happen. Hopefully, this is a scenario where you can kind of work with them a little bit here. Maybe even just bringing up a conversation here might help that process out a little bit. And if your mother is somebody who's not in your life anymore, whether it be, whatever way that may be, I think that if that's the case, then that forgiveness and recovery in the terms of that relationship with your mother here would be more of a something that you do with yourself. So we want to kind of forgive ourselves for whatever ways this may have shown up, and like ultimately, like if we're talking about like what the big like main mother wound for people is that lack of nurturing, right? So if we I mean, that lack of nurturing can like make us feel like it's our fault, right? And so I think like there's a big call here to like kind of forgive ourselves, maybe even like do a little bit of a meditation and visualization for forgiving our mothers. If you can just sit in meditation, take some deep breaths. This is the kind of the process you can do for this if this is something you want to do. You sit in meditation, you take some deep breaths and stuff to relax your body, and then you think of your mother. You think of, or whoever it is you want to forgive. This is like a general forgiveness meditation you can do. Think of whoever that is, and like really like visualize their face there, and then you can literally just either say to yourself, or say under your breath or out loud, I forgive you, and then feel that forgiveness energy pushing towards that person. And then the important part here is also feel that energy coming back from that person, as well. And if this is somebody who is alive and like maybe even in your life, or maybe you have issues like aren't able to really communicate well with that person, even just doing that process, like this is not necessarily like that person's going to forgive you or give you that forgiveness, or you're giving them that forgiveness, or telling them like you are giving them that forgiveness. But what we're doing here is kind of allowing our subconscious, like working with our subconscious in a way to help release this person from uh, uh, like any resentment that we might hold within us. It's kind of releasing that resentment that we might hold for these things, like for our mother not giving us this love or anything. If we can mentally do that thing, then you can kind of tell our subconscious that I'm ready to let go of this, and um, that alone will do so much for you and really help you start to release this energy here. Wow, so much for just looking at one card there when we have so many cards that did come out here. But yeah, so we also have two pentacles here in reverse. I want to take a look at that because I am familiarizing myself with these cards still, and all their reverse meanings and everything. There's so much here. So yeah, two of pentacles in reverse. Irresponsible, neglect, disorganization. Maybe this is kind of like either a way that like your mother thinks you feel like your mother thinks of you, or maybe this is like because like this is your emotions, right? This is like ultimately like the the lunar dragon in reverse here is it's the moon card. It's all about our emotions and stuff, and if it's in reverse, then that means that we are disconnected with our emotions in some way. And part of that reasoning, sorry, so that probably didn't sound great. Part of that reasoning here is because we might feel like either we are neglecting some part of ourselves, or we feel like we're irresponsible, we're disorganized, we're unpredictable, all of these sort of things. Maybe there's a little bit of self-critic stuff going on, especially as we were talking with the Amber here, and I don't want to repeat myself with the self-critic stuff. So if you do want to take a look at that, I do recommend looking at the pile number 2, and especially near the end of that. That's where we were really diving into that self-critic stuff. Was near the end-ish of that reading. So you can just skip to that if you want to. And there's also, let's see, Page of Cups here, which is talking about confidence, happiness, contentment. Yeah, I feel like this work here that we do with our emotions here, trying to like ultimately this is really just working with our emotions, right? So, and kind of processing our emotions, especially if it is surrounding a mother wound, processing those emotions that come up is the biggest part of this. And there's a therapist online. It's Dr. K. He has a great video about processing your emotions. But like part of that is like these emotions are primal, and like these are primal things that's within us, and like it's very easy to let these emotions kind of consume us. But if what we can do, we can take a step back and like, especially sitting in meditation and doing some breath work can really help us take a step back and disconnect from those emotions a little bit. And when those emotions arise, he talks about how you can just ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? And because what we'll end up doing is try to avoid the emotion, so then we start doing something else, and that'll trigger things to happen, and basically we end up starting to ping pong back and forth between these two things, right? And I feel like doing this work of like asking what this emotion is trying to tell us, taking a step back, even just the awareness of the emotion itself can really help us start to work through these emotions, and do a lot of that work for us. And I think it's important to remember that with this is a process, and to try to be gentle with ourselves, and not put too much pressure on ourselves, especially if we are having issues like dealing with the inner self critic and stuff. Like, trying to remind ourselves that like this is not a perfect process, this is going to be a messy process, right? So like just try to be comfortable with that, try to accept that this is not going to be something that's easy or fast or uh, 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 clean or anything like that. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be messy. You're probably going to cry a lot. But I hope that this at least can give you some confidence and motivation to attempt this stuff. And I feel like this too, doing like even just sitting with these emotions, you'll start to feel like you're kind of like, rather than just getting beaten up by all these demons, you're the one in the controlling seat, and you're the one kind of batting and dealing with these demons, right? And I feel like with we've felt quite a bit like this lack of connection with our emotions here, or whatever this wounding is here, is putting us in this like star in reverse energy, which is like ah, it's actually, I'm feeling called to read what the star in reverse is here for you. So yeah, it's putting us in an energy of confusion, despair, maybe a bit of a test of faith. I don't know. That doesn't feel like it super applies here, but really just negativity in general. This is kind of the energy that we've been in, but I feel like doing this work will eventually bring us to that star energy here and our sun energy, which is like the happiness, the joy, the good feelings that we want to be feeling, right? um, we can't really feel that unless we actually sit with our emotions and even the negative emotions, and we have to kind of sit with all of the emotions that come up, and that's how we can kind of do this work within ourselves and to make ourselves a better person and work through these processes. That's what you're here for. That's why you're watching this video, so that you can kind of work through this, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be here or watching this. So yeah, so let's dive into the balance in reverse card, kind of what's imbalanced maybe in this situation. We have the magician in the upright and we have the devil in the reverse, which the devil talks all about transformation and stuff. And this isn't literally the devil necessarily. Sometimes it can be, but I don't really care to take that meaning necessarily here. In the reverse, it talks about detachment, freedom, awareness, and vulnerability, right? So I feel like we've been imbalanced in this way of like maybe we've felt like really on top of the world and like in these really positive places, really detached from certain things, really free and vulnerable in certain ways and stuff. But it's there's like a feeling of like volatility here where we're going back and forth, and that's just kind of creating the cycle here. And I feel like a big thing is doing that work of like asking ourselves what these emotions are trying to tell us, because these emotions are trying to tell us something like, hey, this thing does not feel good or does feel good. This is why. And like, there's a little bit deeper work that needs to be done there. And if you want to dive more into that emotional work, like doing that at work with your emotions, I do recommend looking up Dr. K on YouTube, and looking up the emotion work, or learning how to work with your emotions or something like that. I don't remember the exact title of it, but do look him up there. It's really really good stuff. Maybe I'll throw a link down to his channel in the description if I remember. Yeah, we also have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, I feel like there's just a feeling of like bringing. Oh yeah, and there's like betrayal and defeat here. So like we're really like, and the world in reverse. Like there's this big energy of like going back and forth between these good energies and these bad energies, and just like boom, 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 and we're flip flopping a lot here, and that's, I think there's a big call here to try and bring those energies into balance, and doing that is going to be taking a step back, trying to look at things from a neutral perspective, and and there's some great guided meditations you can do to try and bring yourself into a neutral perspective that you can go and look up as well. And yeah, to try and bring ourselves into some sort of balance here. And then we'll take a look at the Gaia in reverse here, which might be a little bit deeper on that mother wound if we are feeling that. Let's see, we got Ace of Wands in reverse, Ace of Pentacles upright. We got Six of Cups in reverse. So, like, maybe we felt very disconnected from other people in our lives, or feel like we don't have anybody in our lives that we can talk to. And maybe that kind of stems from this mother wounding. Maybe not receiving some of that nurturing as a child has made us feel disconnected from others in our lives. Maybe made us kind of try to strategize our relationships so that we can try and get what we need or want from them, and really put us in like this contemplative energy of like, why can't I feel this way, why can't I do this, that, the other. I do feel called to actually read what the Gaia in reverse meaning is in the dragon deck here. Let me Try and find our booklet for it, wherever I put it. There we go. Okay. So the reverse meaning for the Gaia card, it is the World card with the major arcana normally. I don't know if that helps. Of course it is, right? But anyway, the reverse meaning here is it says, when we are not balanced, the lessons we learn and the spiritual foundations we lay down are shallow and insecure. We can lack the ability to accept change and can get stuck in a rut. This in turn can lead to disappointment and a negative perspective of the world around us. All is not lost, however. Change your perspective by letting go of negative emotions, and you will naturally rise to a higher state of consciousness. So, yeah, there's a big call here to change our perspective with this, right? Maybe there's, especially if we felt like there's like a lot of like we're just disconnected from all these relationships, a change of perspective through some contemplation and some thought might help us feel a little bit more secure in our emotions and stuff, and set us into this Nine of Cups energy here. And I feel like this too, like, will help us see the opportunities that are in our life here, that are opportunities to connect with other people, and to really do this healing not only with ourselves but with other people in our lives. Like, there's the healing that you do with yourself, and then there's also the healing that you do with others, right? So I feel like a change of perspective, especially with others, is going to be very helpful for us here. And then with the Ace of Wands in reverse, I want to take a look at this guy. Endings, delay, unmotivated, and impatience. Yeah, I mean, like, especially if we're really feeling stuck in like any sort of these unmotivated. If we're feeling unmotivated, if we're feeling impatient, and like the things that we want in life are just getting delayed over and over again, maybe there's a bit of a change of perspective here that will help us out a lot more here. And maybe especially like if you are having trouble dealing with that mother wounding specifically, maybe there's a little bit of a change of perspective that'll help you do some of that healing with it. Maybe there's maybe a little bit more understanding on your part, or I mean, not necessarily like you don't need to like overly give yourself in that way, but just understanding a little bit more of the reasons why things may have happened the way that they did in the past could help bring you a better perspective on everything as a whole and help do that healing within yourself. Okay. I think that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for watching. If you got something out of this, which I really hope you did, then you can go ahead and leave a like down below. I'd love to hear from you too. So if anything resonated, or if you want to give some words of encouragement to anybody, you can drop that down in the comments below. And if you want to join me for this tarot journey here, then you can subscribe and turn the notification bell on to be notified of any future uploads I do, okay? All right. I love you so much. Have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, okay? Bye.